Good morning, guys. It is July 27th of 2019, and it is exactly a year ago that I finished this 1996 RM250. If you haven't looked at the previous 30 episodes on this bike, I did a full 30 episode construction video, refurbishment video. When I got this bike, the swing arm was shaking in the frame and the crank was walking in the cases, and when you kick started it, water would squirt out of the gasket surfaces. Obviously it wouldn't run, it was destroyed. So I did a full 30 video restoration series on this bike, and I've been racing it for a year. I did some SCVMX races with it, did one local mama race up in Pennsylvania with it. Just been all around the eastern side of the country running this bike for a year, and it's been absolutely fantastic. Just wanted to give you a 1 year update on it. The only things I've had to repair and or change since I originally built it was I didn't like the way the brake line was moving through the fork holder. So I taped it. I know it's hokey looking, and I could make clamps and machine them up and all that stuff. I might get to that later if I don't sell the bike, but I just put 3 bands to secure that CR style line so that it would stop moving up and down on the front end as it was riding. And I did that little, kind of a jury rig, and I put a clutch in it. That's it. I put a clutch in it. I got a video of that. I did that down in Georgia. And when I put the clutch in, it wasn't a repair. It was an upgrade. I just wanted to have a nice new one. And I still have the old working one in a baggie as a spare. But yeah, guys, this bike's been absolutely fantastic. I mean, I haven't even put brake pads on it. I bought the sintered metal pads. And of course, I don't race every weekend. I average 1 race a month. Sometimes I'll do 2 races a month, and then I didn't ride it for a couple months over the winter. So I've probably ridden it, 15, 18 times in a year. And I'm still on the same centered brand new pads I put on it. Still on the same chain, brand new chain I put on it. The new muffler silencer packing's holding on. I haven't touched the engine. I have not touched the engine. I haven't even touched it. The power valve's been great. The piston was already new when I got the bike. That's how they got it to where it wouldn't run, was they put a new piston in it, and they ruined the engine trying to get it running. So it started a year ago with a new piston and ring, and that new piston and ring are still in it. And the transmission and crank bearings, everything's just been great. So the only repair it needs right now is the fork seals do start to weep a little bit. They are barely starting to weep. I've been riding it that way for a couple, 3 weekends. You can't go road racing with weeping fork seals. They won't let you through tech, and it's not safe to get any amount of oil whatsoever at all anywhere near a road race tire or a road race track surface. But in motocross, who cares? Not a big deal. So I do need to get those fork seals done. But other than that, it's just been one hell of a fantastic bike. I have a full solid year of competition on it with nothing but an optional clutch upgrade. And now I need to do some fork seals. I mean, that's cheap racing. You guys in motocross that think you're spending money, you guys say, oh, motocross is so expensive. Compared to road racing motorcycles, or compared to racing any kind of a car, dirt car, late models, road course cars, even the little Formula V SCCA cars that are supposed to be the economy class, even they cost 3, 4, 5 times as much to run as motocross. So if you want to race and you want to be in motorsports and you're on a budget and you're physically fit enough to do it, motocross is where you need to be, because I have $1,200 in this bike total, including the cost of powder coating the frame, including the cost of purchasing it, including the cost of running it for a year. I have a total of $1,200 in this bike, and I got an entire race year out of it. And other than the fork seals, it's ready to go for another year. So I mean, if you can't do all your own work and you had to buy this used, it would have cost you maybe $2,000 is what this bike is worth on the used market. $2,000 in a vehicle to get a year's worth of racing out of it. And it cost me $100 a weekend in sign-up fees and travel gas. I spent another $500-600 on riding gear, helmets, boots, pants, gloves. You know, you can do an entire season of motocross, a whole season of it, including the cost of maintenance, repair, everything. I mean, I'm on the same tires from a year ago. I did change that one about 3 or 4 weekends in, but there's still knob there. I mean, yeah, it's not fresh and new, and if a super A rider might say, oh, I want a new tire, but for me riding, it's good enough. It don't matter. That's the same front tire I've had the whole time. I mean, you can do an entire year of motocross, including the cost of the bike and the gear, for $3,500, $4,000. You don't need a motorhome. You don't need a trailer with air conditioning. You know, if you want your grandma to go to the racetrack with you, maybe you need those things, and that's fine. And hey, look, if my grandma was still alive, I'd want her to go to the track with me too. That'd be wonderful. But if you're just a single guy going out there doing what I'm doing, I did this entire year project, I promise you, on less than $3,500. So always wear your helmet. God loves you. Get off the couch. No excuses. Get it done.